We start our exploration of the Italian capital at the most important building in Rome, and maybe even the country, the Colosseum. From the moment you step out of the metro, you will be blown away by the size and aura that this building has. However, we are too close to take good pictures, so I will show you the best spot to take them. We're going to walk around 5 minutes behind the exit of the metro station to a small park called Monte Oppio. There, we are elevated and far enough away to get probably the best view of the Colosseum. Especially if you come back in the evening, the light of the setting sun in combination with the illumination of the building are breathtaking. After taking some nice photos, it's time to get closer and tell you a little bit about the history, one of the most iconic landmarks in the world. Construction started around 70 AD and took 10 years to finish. The Flavian Amphitheatre, its alternative name, hosted all sorts of public spectacles, including gladiatorial contests, animal hunts and public executions. In order to understand it more, let's check it out from the inside. Tickets do sell out quickly, but we wanted to visit spontaneously and got tickets for the next day, even high season, though for a later time slot. Immediately after entering, we walked through the corridors that the spectators also used when they bought a ticket to an event. Between 50 and 80,000 people were allowed entry during one of these events, which, and I know this sounds incredibly boring at first, required a high level of crowd maintenance. In fact, one of the marvels of this building is how well it managed masses of people that it still inspires how we build stadiums today. The area where gladiatorial fights took place doesn't exist anymore, because after the end of the Roman Empire, earthquakes and stone thieves have taken a toll. Instead, we get a great idea of the complexity of the underground tunnels and corridors that were used to manage the shows. Needless to say, the Colosseum was added to the list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites and is now one of the 7 modern wonders of the world. Right behind the Colosseo is the Foro Romano, or Roman Forum, which was the vibrant heart of public life in ancient Rome. It is a massive area full of history, giving visitors a chance to experience what life may have been like centuries ago. It was a place where the Senate met or leaders would deliver speeches. Spectators would often gather to view triumphal processions or criminal trials. Dating back to the 7th century BC, the history of the Roman Forum is nearly as ancient as Rome itself, when a marshland was trained to create a public space where the city's first civic buildings could be erected. Over time, it became the epicenter of Roman politics, commerce and religion, symbolizing the city's growth and power. After the fall of the Roman Empire, it was buried until it was excavated in the 18th and 19th century, uncovering the importance and magnitude of this place that once was the center of an empire. To appreciate the true scale of the Foro Romano, take a stroll up a small path leading to Palatine Hill, where you will be rewarded with a stunning panoramic view of the ruins below. After exploring the rest of the city, you should definitely come back at night to see the Foro Romano illuminated. I hope you're enjoying this video so far. Please feel free to like it and subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it. Just a few minutes walking from the Foro Romano is one of Rome's most impressive buildings, the Monumento Vittorio Emanuele II, first king of Italy after its unification in 1861 and 6th-time winner of the Coolest Mustache of the Year award. Construction started shortly after his death, but it took exactly 50 years until it was finished in 1935. But if you walk to the right of this building, you will find something even more beautiful that tourists often overlook when visiting Rome. Walking up these steps, you will reach the Piazza del Campidoglio that was designed by Michelangelo and hosts museums and former government buildings. If you walk back down the stairs and turn right, you find another set of stairs that lead to the Basilica Santa Maria in Ara Coeli that was built in 1200 and hosts gorgeous paintings and a tiled roof. One of the most picturesque sights in Rome is the Trevi Fountain, and it looks spectacular at each time of the day. Since it's relatively small compared to other monuments, it gets overcrowded very quickly, so it's absolutely recommendable to visit early in the morning. You will still encounter other tourists, but at 5 AM there will be a lot less than at 7 AM, believe me. We also returned at night, and it looks spectacular regardless of what the light is like. The first plans to construct this fountain were made in 1629, but construction officially started in 1732 and finished 30 years later in 1762. Even though it's a fully functioning fountain, Trevi is actually the back facade of the Palazzo Poli, that had existed in this location before. However, the architects were geniuses in incorporating the fountain in the background. So it feels like the palace is part of the fountain. Another monumental construction in the internal city are the 135 most famous steps in the world, the so-called Spanish Steps. They connect the Fontana della Barcaccia with the church Trinità dei Monti. It received worldwide fame through movies such as Roman Holiday with Audrey Hepburn, recent series such as Emily in Paris, or a guy who crashed down with his Maserati. He was of course charged with damaging this beautiful monument, but even if you can afford an expensive car, you can get fined up to 250 euros for sitting on the steps, or 400 euros for damaging the steps in any way, so be careful. Oh, and don't ride your scooters down, breaking off expensive marble. Not cool. The steps were first planned in the 17th century, but not constructed until the early 18th century and opened to the public in 1725. The Italian name is Calinata di Trinità dei Monti. Sorry for my pronunciation, but the English name is just Spanish Steps, because of the name of the square Piazza di Spagna, the Spanish square. The Chiesa di Sant'Ignazio di Loyola is one of the more underrated places in the city, but it's getting a lot more popular with tourists lately. That is not due to the rather unspectacular exterior, but the massive fresco under its roof. Another impressive monument in Rome is the Monumento San Angelo. That is right next to the Vatican. Of course, a visit to Rome couldn't be complete without visiting the smallest country in the world. If you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to not miss this video next time. In the meantime, check out my guide on another incredible Italian city, Florence. Take care and see you next time.